Roblox made a huge mistake. Let's talk about it. Alright guys, so mistake is in the eye of the beholder. Here's the new update. Here's the sauce. Roblox made it so you can only sell plugins for US dollars. This means you can no longer sell them for Robux, which is a blessing and a curse. We're gonna talk about it. Alright, so first things first, let me say this just right off the bat so we're all on the same page. I support the idea of hardworking developers getting paid in US dollars, and I'm not against that part of this at all. However, the fact they made it only US dollars is kind of challenging for a couple of reasons. We're gonna dive into this whole topic in just a second, but I want to let my thoughts be known here at the beginning. Number one, most of the users and developers on Roblox are under the age of 18. Therefore, they don't have bank accounts, credit cards, debit cards, any way to spend US dollars on a plugin. So I do feel like even though this is a good change for the developer themselves, the maker of the plugin, they'll be getting paid more money and be getting paid in US dollars. How much will they be getting paid? Because I feel like 80% of the people who would normally buy these plugins will not buy them if they cost USD. And I could be wrong, and we'll have to see where Roblox goes with this, but I do feel like it's a lot easier to spend Robux on something from the consumer standpoint than it is to spend US dollars. So long story short about all this, I support the fact the developer is getting real money and making more money, but on the consumer side, the buyer of the plugin, I don't think there will be as many buyers in the long run. Now, this could lead to higher quality plugins that bigger studios use, maybe, we'll see. Anyways, let's get into this dev forum post. They open it up with the creator store with real world currency USD pricing is now live. We're excited about how this will allow creators to earn 3x the revenue per sale. This is fantastic. Let me go into the as of today. All plugins with a USD price are set to live. Plugins with only Robux price and no USD price have been set to private to ensure your content is protected. They definitely did not do that to Scene Tools, which is a plugin I recently released for 100 Robux. Now it is completely free because the minimum you can set a plugin price to is $4.99, and that just, it feels too expensive for what Scene Tools is. So I made it free. If you did buy it before this, thank you so much for supporting your boy. But yeah, $4.99, it seems too much for the simpler plugins. And then creator store earnings no longer subject to DevEx or platform fees after Roblox 10% tax and fee deduction. Creators will be paid 90% of all transactions. So this is fantastic, right? The developer is gonna get 90% of whatever this plugin cost is. Once again, a big W. The mistake is that the amount of people that can now purchase these plugins is cut severely. The reason it's so easy to spend Robux on something instead of USD is it doesn't feel like you're spending actual money. For example, if you played Sword Fighting Simulator and there was a dual wield sword game pass and it cost 500 Robux, all right? It's not that big of a deal. It's a little expensive, but whatever. Now let's say that same exact game pass costs $9.99. I would say that 90% of the people who are buying that Game Pass would not buy it if it costs real money instead of Robux. There's a dissociation that you're actually spending money, so I do feel like you're cutting the potential sales at least in half. Maybe this 90% makes up for that, I'm not sure. Let's see what some of the community's saying about it. The top comment says, still want a Robux option. ID verification, as I've said many times before, is sub-ideal, and I'm not older than 18. So how? Oh, so now I can't make paid assets. Please just read Robux as an option for everybody 13 plus. USD-based catalog is not as perfect as some people will make it look. It should be an option to get the higher profit USD, not a requirement forced on all of us. This is my biggest thing, guys. Obviously, the developer making more money is fantastic. However, the consumer who needs the product cannot always pay USD, So make it so there's an option. For an adult, maybe it would be easier to spend real money instead of buying the Robux and then using those Robux to make the plugin or to get the plugin. But for a kid, it's, yo, my premium payout just came in, I'm getting a plugin. Make an option so you can choose how you would like to purchase the plugin. I feel like that's the win-win. Roblox seems to have a thing forcing everybody into things all at once, for better or worse. This is not the place. All this is doing is opening doors wide open for piracy and redistributing for free, which is probably not ideal. Here we have a lot of plugins are now super overpriced. Thanks again for forcing the $4.99 minimum. And now the only thing I can say is, why didn't I pick these up for cheap? This was one of my points as well, guys. There's a lot of plugins. First off, there's a lot of super talented developers who make absolutely amazing plugins that will be well worth whatever price they set them to. But there's a lot of plugins, for example mine, Scene Tools, that we made in the cheapest possible, 100 Robux, in order for us to make a little bit of Robux, and for you guys to be able to get a valuable tool for not too expensive. However, $4.99 for Scene Tools seems way too expensive. So now we're gonna get into these plugins that people like that help you, being either way overpriced or the developer making absolutely nothing for them. And I think that's a weird spot as well, because not every plugin is a super, I don't even know how to explain it. Not every plugin is super viable for everything. Let's see what other people are saying. This kind of sucks though. Nice that you can get more money selling plugins, but if we have to use USD for so many things now instead of Robux, why keep Robux around? This is another big concern for me. I genuinely feel like this could be a hot take. I feel like in the next 5 to 10 years, Robux actually won't exist. We're already getting subscriptions in games for real life money, and now we have to pay real life money for plugins. What's next? Game passes? Maybe you have to pay to get into a game. You know those betas? Like Bloxburg beta that was like however many Robux, I'll say 50 because I don't remember. It was 50 Robux for years. What if that was $1.99 now to enter? There's so much room that makes it seem like Roblox is just trying to remove Robux. And I don't know, it's kinda sketchy to ya boy. This is terrible. Not only can users under 18 not sell plugins for money, most users under 18 can't buy them either. You're locking out most of the developers from having access to an essential part of our day-to-day development experience. This is what I'm saying. A lot of the platform is still under the age of 18, and they don't have access to now use these features. So W for the developers who are making a life-saving plugin, but the developers who are just trying to make a helpful tool for a niche community that don't want to make it $5, it's kind of an L. And I would say there's a lot more of the helpful tools for a niche community than actual game changer plugins. There's almost 600 votes on this. So let's just say, personally, I dislike the update. Yeah, it seems like most people are in the same boat. I guess all in all, for the super serious developers who are making game-changing plugins that will help developers a lot, this is a good update, right? Well worth what you're pricing your plugin at. For everybody else, aka the vast majority, it's a major L. I don't get it. Most plugins will not be worth $5. I could think of many right off the bat that cost like 100 Robux or 200 Robux. Heck, there's a lighting plugin called Atmos that used to cost, I think, $3.99 or something, and now it costs $30. Yeah, it's crazy, guys. Scene Tools is now free. If you want it, the link is down below in the description. I'm not saying I won't make a plugin for USD later on, but it would have to bring tremendous value to you guys for me to feel right selling it for $5. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on this topic down below. That is going to wrap it up for today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.